All right, so here's the scene. Damien thought we'd get in here with the crane, but the lady here says that there's tanks underground in several places on our approach. And there's a septic and a leach field, and there's like these water tanks that are buried out here. And so here's the tree. It's uprooted and it's held by this oak. And we can't get the crane to it. So there's another old, kind of half rotted, uprooted stump there that I'm thinking about carving some kind of an anchorage onto it and seeing the integrity of it. And then using it to anchor this tree back a little bit. I get it anchored back a little bit, then I'll just climb this uprooted tree and untangle it up there. These are the fun ones. These are the ones that you get to pull out your problem solving skills, and it's kind of fun because it's super real. It's like there's consequences to failure, right? And so then you start to get that I'm alive feeling. But there's usually always whatever you need around you somewhere. Life is like a video game, and there's like power-ups and tools laying about. You just got to go around and look for them and see if you can make it happen with what lays around right on site. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna figure this out. Kick that stump. Yeah, this is our this is our anchor. We maybe should rethink that. Plans are changing, so it looks like this is sketchy. So we'll leave that idea for later. See, it's interesting. It's super dynamic because the lady says the neighbor is a problem, this guy over here, and we'd like to anchor our pine tree back to this oak tree because that'd be a lot better. But she says that he's a sketchy dude, but we don't necessarily believe her, and so we're gonna go and try to talk to him and see what happens there. In the meantime, I'm just gonna start up the tree because the tree is held up now, and I'll start making it less dynamic, and then somewhere along the way, hopefully our ship will come in and we'll be able to get our anchor. We'll be able to guide this thing back.
He's like, I don't got nothing for my kids and blah, blah, I'll sell that saw.
How much?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like you just walk in.
1,600.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, and I paid for part of it with an axe, so I forked out 14.
That's cool. I mean, I sold mine for $2,000, so you got a better deal. Mine wasn't even new. Nice lanyard. This is what I'm gonna use.
Yeah, it's a Schroeder lanyard right there.
Is this working good, this saw?
Yeah, last time I used it was fine.
Yeah, that would be naked.
So here we go, YouTube. We're going up a uprooted tree. We're relying on that oak tree to keep holding it up. Well, we have Jake.
You want this one?
Trying to talk to the neighbor about, no, I'll use this. I'm already up here. Trying to talk to the neighbor about using one of their little trees as an anchor to guide this back, because at some point this tree is, I'm gonna have to cut the triggers that are holding it up. No problem?
He wasn't home. Plus there was another gate that I had to get into that I couldn't get past, so. There's no cars in the driveway either though.
Probably better not do that then. I don't want any trouble with anybody. Just put it around that, put a block on that old pine stump. See how rotten that is down low? That's not even the best. Yeah, it's rotten. Never mind. So YouTube, this means I'm gonna have to figure it out some other way. Probably the best way is to go up that oak, tie into that side of the oak, and stay tied in there while I play around with this tree. Oh, this is an interesting thing to do today. Oh, yeah, it broke limbs as it came into it, so I know it's got some pressure. I mean, what could happen, right? If it starts breaking that stuff, it's not like it's gonna just suddenly fall. It's gonna be like snap, crackle, pop. There's gonna be a lot of warning. And then there's more stuff to catch it over there. So this is fine. So you might wonder why I'm leaving a couple. I got a limb there, I got a limb here. I'll leave it just because right now it's not providing a lot of stoppage, but it is stopping a little bit of the pressure. Is that the right word? Pressure? I don't think so. Stopping a little bit of the impetus. Just see what happens, eh? My favorite kind of thing to do. See what happens. You definitely wouldn't want to like get into a deal where it started going and then stuff like this was coming back and smacking you as it went past. There's like all kinds of ways to get dynamically wrecked doing this type of stuff. Not just regular wrecked, dynamically wrecked. I don't know how much GoPro battery I got YouTube, so I think what I'm going to do is turn the camera off until I get some sort of pivot point choice, something to show you. I still haven't tied into the oak because it would be so far down below me, and I'm still trusting the tree to hang up if it starts breaking through this. Now I'm getting up into the itty bitty here soon. I'm still leaving the ones here that are contributing to hanging this up to keep it from falling, and I'm only cutting off ones that are doing nothing but adding weight. And I'm almost to a place where I'm gonna pull the top down and try to make it fit through there. All this little bit of weight is less burden on the oak tree. These are the things you think about. A note to all the people that'll say this is crazy. Crazy for you, maybe. So it's not necessarily crazy if you, I mean, look, that oak tree is doing a lot of help right now. It's not like I'm I've got no help. Okay, now time to send this little top out through here and hopefully make it to the ground. Well, I got it part of the way down. That's better. See, that's less weight up here. I'll eventually knock it out of there with chunks, I betcha. Oh yeah, I'm starting to get this thing under control, I think. So far I haven't left this pine stem at all. So far this pine stem has been enough. They weren't able to get a hold of the neighbor, so I don't want to just assume I can go on this property. People are funny, like, about property related stuff. A well-placed bomb. And it's stayed there. Okay. Let's see how you are. That one was one of the ones that are help keeping this thing up here. Fill the whole thing. Crack them. Okay, there's the top out, finally. Part of the job is untangling it out of this. Not leaving things up here when we're gone. Imagine all the weight, YouTube, little by little, just departing. You know what I mean? Just lots of it. Rain's starting to pick up here. Alright, let's start cutting into some juicy stuff and see if this thing moves. checking in with you. So far, so good. I've got the top gone and a lot of weight. Now I'm getting down into the part that's held a little bit more firmly by the oak. So in other words, I'll be cutting some triggers. And my hope is that this thing is just gonna kind of stand there because I've gotten so much weight off of it. We'll see. Before I do that, I'll tie into the oak before I cut any trigger. That way I don't just, you know, tip over with it. So now I'm tied into the oak. I'm also flip lined into this pine, which wouldn't be good if it went, but it's not gonna go. Some people have a breakaway lanyard on their flip line, but I don't need that in this case, because I'll take the flip line off when it comes time to cut the triggers. Even that limb right there was holding some of it. I could feel the tree was bound up, you know. It's like a snowshoe. You know, all the little things are holding you from going through the snow, not necessarily one big thing. I guess you could say one big thing. And call it a snowshoe. But it's made up of a lot of little things, right? See, all this weight adds up. Every time you cut off something like that, you're pretty stoked because it's less weight bearing on its anchorage. We're getting it. We are getting it. It's gonna get tricky pretty soon. Pretty soon it's gonna be tricky. Yeah, this part of the tree is held up. This part of the oak is doing a lot of the holding. We'll just start little by little here. We're getting somewhere now. This one here, I mean, it's mega sprung too. Just little by little here. So right now, I'm not tied into this. I'm only tied into the oak because in case it shifts and pulls me 2 directions. Now I've got a lot of this tree. I have a lot of this tree cut, and it's still bound on here pretty firm, which I was kind of hoping it would sit up more by now. But we can just keep cutting it off. Those are very thought-provoking cuts right there. The thing's still in there pretty good. All right, let's see what this thing does. This is the last trigger right here. Still up against it hard, but I have a hard time believing it'll move much, but it could go down to the next limb. There it is. It moved. It moved some, but now I think I can go stand on it and just cut it down, chunk it down. follow the stick now. All right, YouTube friends, that's how we did it. We don't need no stinking face cut. Those jobs are fun because you have to really think about what kind of movement, what kind of action is going to happen when you make the cut. Like what is going to get slingshotted, what's going to move towards you, what's going to move away from you, how are you going to keep your saw from getting pinched, how are you going to keep from getting, you know, smacked by something under tension. Because there's nowhere to run up there. You got to like choose where you're going to be ahead of time. In logging, they're like, you know, choose your escape routes. Well, when you're in the tree, your escape route means where can you stay put, or where can you dodge to that's not very far away. What can you hide behind? That sort of thing. I got my arm broke by a tree one time when I was logging, and if I had just stayed put, if I had just made maybe one step backwards, I wouldn't have got hit. But the panic in the guy's voice that yelled at me kind of like made me not looking well. It wasn't his fault, but instead of looking up, I went the wrong direction and I got hit. Another time doing work just like that, I got hit by something when I cut it, and it sprung and it hit me in the side of the head. I had a hard hat on, so that was good, but it made it so I couldn't chew for a couple of months. Storm jobs are always my favorite jobs because they're just a mixed up bag of what can you do with your brain and your body. I'll see you on the next one.